Hey guys, what's happening? Hope everybody's doing good. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there and we'll get this puppy started. Yeah. As soon as somebody gives me a 5 for 5, I'll get her going here. Hey IG. Layman, good to see you, brother. Thank you. E-Rock. Superior Cat got the cookie today. R Guy 936. Good to see you. Julie. John, good to see you, John the Spirit. Tesha, what's happening? There you go, Seventh, what's happening? And anybody else I missed. So I am going to go ahead and get into it, guys, okay? We got hit with an unexpected geomagnetic storm, which is why I'm here right now. It just happened within the past few hours. And so we're going to talk about that. And I'll show you guys some other stuff that's been going on also. But I'm going to start here with the Schumann because, guys, we've been talking about this a little bit. People were asking questions on why we were having these little uptick things going on here. You can see that's kind of tailing off now, at least on the 8th. And again, remember, this is a regional tool. This tool here is in Russia. Now, there are other ones across the planet, but the question was, why are we seeing these spikes at the same time every day? And people were wondering where it was coming from. And well, I can confidently say this, that I think it's coming from the sun. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at the time block of when it is, it's during the daytime hours, the majority of it. Okay, and then what happens after it wanes off, it slowly goes back to a more ambient condition, and then it happens again right around 10 or 11 UTC. Okay, this has been a cycle for a few days now. So I think that that's what's going on here. We've had an uptick in the solar weather. It's coming from sunspots, more sunspots, all that, right? So that's what's going on with that. I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time talking about that. But please keep that in mind. Now, I can always be wrong, but that's what I think it is. So just so everybody understands, that's the heartbeat of the planet. We have to have that frequency, 7.8 hertz, to really kind of feel normal. Our biology demands that, actually. But if you want to know more about the Schumann, I would encourage you guys to go over to Verte Arbuoto's channel. His link is in my description. He's a mod here. He's very intelligent when it comes to this, and he could speak on this way better than I ever thought. So let me refresh this page here, because I think that, okay, yeah. So G2 conditions, right? Now, I want to say this, okay? When we come over here and we look at these geomagnetic storm conditions, right? We have to consider that this is showing us 24-hour observed maximums. So the highest level that it got, this is where it's going to show you. Now, this is latest observed. Notice that there is no more storming at this second. Now, that's subject to change, okay? If we go on out, they're not predicting or forecasting any other storming, but they weren't forecasting this one either. Okay, there was a coronal hole stream, but they didn't think it was going to be this strong. They were, I think if I was to go back and look, I think they were predicting a 4 here on the KP, and a 6 is a G2 storm. So, and let me point this out here too. You see this? These are 3-hour time blocks, guys. So if you just solely look at this one, it's kind of deceiving in the way that you don't really know that if it's gone or not. So yeah. Hey Jeff P, good to see you, brother. Ain't seen you in a minute. That's another guy that helped me get my channel going, guys. Go check him out, please. So many people help me, and it's awesome. But anyway, go check him out. So as you got this, guys, we're no longer in storm conditions, but that, I'm telling you guys, it could change. Now they're saying a 5 here for the next 3-hour time block, and the reason why is because it's probably starting to tail off a little bit already. And so this next time block here is probably going to show a 5 on the KP. Now remember, the KP is going to show you 5 G1 storm, 6 is a G2, and just like a thunderstorm or tornado warning type of situation, it goes up, currently like that. So just understand that it's very much like a thunderstorm warning type of system here. And but they do go off of current conditions, and that's why I always look here. Okay, so if you guys come over here and look, please look here, even when you see these other ones showing this stuff. It's good to know what the maximum was, because that's what this here is going to give you the maximum also. So if we got into G2 level at all during that 3-hour time block, that's going to show a G2. That's what this does. But again, guys, you know, there's no radiation storm going on. Matter of fact, proton production here is actually pretty low, guys. Look at this. So, and then even our X-ray flux, the sunspots just are not putting anything out right now. It's just not happening the past few days, 2 days anyway. So what does that mean? You know, well, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it, and we wouldn't want to do anything about it, but there are still sunspots. Now, I can tell you right now that what's causing this current geomagnetic storm is this coronal hole right here. Now, this is interesting, because this one opened up not too long ago. So we were connected to this one, now we're probably connected to this one. So my guess is, even though they're not forecasting anything here in the next few days, okay, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it, because that could change. And again, we got a 5% chance of an M-class flare, which isn't very much. It's not like nothing, but it definitely is something to pay attention to. We've also had a sundiver, guys, and this one was pretty cool. And I'll show it to you here in just a few minutes, but they caught it on Soho, and this satellite catches a lot of sundivers, okay? But I actually also seen it on Stereo A. So we got 2 different satellites giving you the same comet diving into the sun. So, yeah. But, so if we go on down through here, you can see, now this is the absorption graph here, and this is what we look at when we're getting hit with x-rays and stuff. This thing isn't moving a whole lot, okay? I'm not even going to play the movie tool on there, because this is a waste of time. But so if we go here to the data, remember the BZ up here, we have to really pay attention to this, okay? If it gets, you see this up here, this is basically the angle of our magnetic field. I'm not going to get into specifics here, but we look for -6 on the BZ. All right, and we definitely, whenever it gets -6 or lower, you're going to see it turn purple here on the Discover model. And you know what? I'm going to put this model in the chat, because I get a lot of people asking me where that's at. So let me pull the chat back up real quick. Okay, so there's that link there in the chat, okay? Go over and check this out. It ain't going to hurt you. You can't hurt nothing by going and looking, guys. If you have questions, come ask me. I'll try to help you. But anyway, -6 for hours. Okay, these are 3-hour increments, just like the other graph I was showing you. So you got, who knows, 3, 6, 9, 12 hours off and on. We were -6. In other words, our angle of our magnetic field was in a position that was allowing these highly charged particles, highly dense also, to enter into our system easier. So that's why we're seeing this storming, in my opinion. And you can see the speed here in the purple line, and 300 to 500 is what we consider normal. But if you go down here to the end, like right there, we're looking at close to 600, if not higher. I think it spiked, yeah, 684, I think it got up to, or something like that. There's 637, but anyway, that is elevated speed. Okay, density we would consider 4 on the density, kind of normal, which I don't hold too much stock in that number, because I've seen this take a density hit of like 30 and not even get into geomagnetic storm levels, and I've seen this have a density of 2 and get into storm levels. So, but 4 is what they consider normal. But you can see right there, 18.38. That is definitely elevated. You combine that with our angle and the elevated speed, what do you get? You get a G2 level storm. That's what we're seeing. Now, before we move on, I'm going to show you real quick. Where are my... Oh man, I just X'd out of that. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, here we go. So this is over at NOAA also. This is showing you levels of storming conditions and what you can expect. So let me copy this one, put it in the chat also, so you guys can go check it out for yourself. And please do, guys. I say it all the time, but please take me up on that. Go check this stuff out for yourself. All right. So anyway, there's the link to that. But if you look here, this is radio blackout conditions. That's not what we're having right now. This is what you get from X-ray, from flares. Okay, we are geomagnetic storms. This is different. So in the G-2, high latitude power systems may experience voltage alarms. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. Corrective actions to orientations may be required by ground control to help the satellites and stuff correct for the extra drag. Okay, when these highly dense particles hit us, guys, it's causing more friction, so it causes more drag in the movements of the satellites. So they have to make adjustments to keep them in orbit. That's what they're talking about there. Okay, other systems, high frequency radio propagation can fade at higher latitudes. Yeah, guys, this affects radio communications, and first responders use this stuff, guys. You know, shortwave radio. That's what they usually use. And but you know, what's good for radio propagation isn't necessarily good for GPS. So there's both systems working here. And here, you know, in the past few years, people have kind of like, you don't really know what to call bad or good because everybody's using different systems. So one thing's good for one and one thing isn't. So, but anyway, that's what you can expect. An increase in Aurora, all that stuff. It says as low as New York and Idaho in a G2 storm. So that's down towards mid latitudes. All right. Now G1s, that's when you start seeing really, you know, higher latitudes. You got to be closer to the poles. And again, conditions just slowly, you know, increase as you go up in levels. And I'm not going to go into that, but you guys can go over here and check this out. I posted that link in the chat. Hopefully that'll help you guys get to that. Again, there's the data. Let me, I'm going to take you guys here because I do want to show you this, this coronal hole. Matter of fact, I'm going to pause that. We're going to take this back. I thought I had it set up. I apologize, guys. I was trying to do this really quick because I got through doing a live over on the lifeboat. So, yeah. Go check us out over there too, guys. We had a really good show tonight. Please do. It's awesome. Tommy's here right now, so, and a lot of you guys from the lifeboat are here. So anyway, that's what I would say. But yeah, go check them out. Somebody drop the link over there if they would, please. Why did that go back to the second? What did I do there? Wow. Okay, that's when we had that missing time. This is the actual capture I wanted to show you anyway. All right, so this one right here. This one right here is definitely this hole here is what's giving us this storm. Okay, when the corona opens up and there's a hole in the corona of the sun, which is essentially the atmosphere. You're looking, this black is the surface of the sun. There's not a hole in the sun here. Okay, I want to point that out because, you know, the way that we word this can confuse people. That's just opening up of the corona, the hazy atmosphere of the sun. Is basically what I'm going to call it. So when that opens up, the corona kind of contains the energy and the highly charged particles in the sun. It just kind of keeps it contained like that, for lack of a better term, I guess. But when it opens up, we connect to that magnetically via an interplanetary magnetic connection line. Lots of them, okay? Not just one line. People think it's one line. It's not. And it fluctuates, it moves, it's very fluid, all right? But that's how they get to Earth. So what happens is that this is plasma leaving the sun. Plasma is charged gas. It is the fourth state of matter. Now you go back however many years, that they didn't even have that classification. It was solid, liquid, gas. And now we know that there's a plasma, which is gas that has a charge. So it follows the magnetic polarity, and that's how it gets here. Okay? So when these holes open up, it allows more of those highly charged particles, dense and all of that, to flow out. So that's why these holes matter. And when they're right in front of us and they're this, I'm going to call this intense in the term of, you don't see any kind of haziness over this hole. Sometimes these things will open up and you'll still see a little bit of the corona there, like kind of down here. You see how it's kind of hazy? They can get pretty sizable and still have that hazy look. Not here. This is wide open. Alright? It's not like extremely large, but it's not small either. So, I mean, there's distance here. There's size, overall size. The overall corona is just like not even there over this hole. So things are just flowing out. And all those conditions I just showed you guys over here is why we're in the geomagnetic storm level that we are now. But let me show you, let's go over here. This is the magnetopause model, okay? Or magnetosphere model, sorry. This is the one that shows speed. The sun's off to the left. The red colors are the faster speed. Usually you can see waves coming in here, and that's what you're going to see. Usually when we click on these things, you're looking at the lighter oranges and yellows that are pretty much dominating the capture here. Well, that ain't the case right now. Obviously, you guys can see that. And it's a steady flow right now. And that's what we tend to see with coronal holes, right? When we get hit with a geomagnetic storm, it's more of a pulse-like hit. Now, once you get hit, you get like a snowplow effect out in front, right? It'll push particles and it kind of rolls up like a snowplow, and it increases the density. So we'll get that initial blast when geomagnetic storms hit us, and that will trigger geomagnetic storms. But then it depends on how strong the CME itself was, on how long it lasts. Okay, and that all varies. That's why, you know, the geomagnetic storms, when talking about CMEs, sometimes it gets really difficult to forecast them. But that was the speed. Now this is just density. Okay, and up here, you see this arc? That's our bow shock. That's the point where the solar wind meets our magnetic field. Okay, people talk like, oh my God, the bow shock's down. No, it's not. They come over here and they look at this and they think the bow shock isn't there. It's there. It's just that the density on one side of it is the exact same as on the other side. That's why you don't see the arc here. And then the arc will come back once the density starts to change. It doesn't go away. If the bow shock isn't there, you know what that means? That means either there is absolutely no solar wind, which is impossible, because if that happens, that means that the sun isn't there. We're all, no matter if there's coronal holes or not, doesn't matter. We're still getting solar wind. All right, at least an amount of it. And the other option is, if the bow shock isn't there, that means our magnetic field isn't there. One of those two things has to disappear for the bow shock not to be there. And if one of those two things disappear, I'm not going to be here talking to you. Just saying. So people out there that are saying the bow shock's down all the time, man, gosh dang it, quit saying it. You're scaring people. It's not the case. All right. Now, I'm not saying we can't get hit with a real good blast and it will really knock our bow shock back, because that happens. It happens. Okay? But in order for that thing to go down and stay down, like people think when you say that, that's what exactly would have to happen. The sun would either have to go away, or we would have to completely lose our magnetic field, like Mars. And then guess what? We become Mars. Just saying. So this is the magnetic pressure part of it. And I'm sorry I get fired up about that. It really bothers me when people come out and say stuff like that, because it scares people. And that ain't what we do here. So yeah. Alright. So this is magnetic pressure. Well, how's the chat doing in there? Good to see everybody. Hey, Tommy, Linda. I guess seen Jeff in there. Trish, Joanna. What's happening, Trisha? Aaron, Alfred. Good to see you guys. Liz. Alright. Back away. Conspiracy realist. Bam. Okay. Yeah, guys, do us a favor. Can you guys do me a favor? I seen that right there on John the Spirit said that. He had to go back and resubscribe over on the lifeboat. Guys, please, do us a favor. Go over there and check it out. Can I get one of the mods to put the link in there? It's in my description box anyway. But go check us out. Jeff, I don't know what you need prayers for, brother, but you're always going to get them from me, man. You know that. I'll go back and look at the chat. You don't have to repeat yourself. I'll see what it is, okay? Hopefully everything's okay with you, but we'll definitely give you some prayers. Prayers, good thoughts, all that stuff, right? So, yeah. Wow, sorry, guys. My throat. Oh my gosh, guys. Dry. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to drink in my mic like that. I know it probably sounded gross if it did. So, but yeah. Alrighty. So that's the magnetic pressure, guys. But yeah. And you can definitely see the uptick here, right? And again, guys, I'll check on the chat here in a little while. Again, I have to put it away. If I don't, I'll just sit there and talk to you guys all night long. And we won't be talking about space weather. Anyway, so there you go. You can see the magnetic pressure, but watch the waves come in here too also. Now I'm going to show you guys something here in a second also. I used to show this a lot. Let me find it. I think it's here. Okay, this is for my friends down under. If Alan sees this, brother, this is for you. Okay, if he's listening to me or whatever, I'm not sure who's in the chat right now, but this is an Australian model. All right, and it's very simplistic, which I love. I love the simplicity about this because it gives you all the data you need in a very understandable way. Okay, the sun again is off to the left. This is the satellite line. See all the satellites? That's where they're orbiting at. Obviously, that's the Earth. This is our bow shock. They simply just put a line there. So, I mean, that's awesome. People understand that. Now, you can get all that data I just went over right here. Okay? You can see this right here. Solar wind speed, density. There's your BZ number, 1.2. Okay? That's in the positive. It'll say negative if it's in the negative. So our BZ is actually tilted back to the positive side now. So that's probably why we came out of storm level. Because we're in a position now to where we're kind of deflecting it more. So let me play this and watch what this thing does. Okay? What is? Alright, so watch it bounce around. Our bow shock will bounce around. You'll see the numbers moving. All the above. Now see, that's when we started getting hit. You see it bouncing around? And what you're going to see, every once in a while, again, you see how it's compressing that? See how our bow shock is bending around? This one shows it really, really well. You've seen how the bow shock actually got really close to the satellite line. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, the bow shock can actually get all the way back here and expose whatever satellites that are out there to the conditions coming from the sun without the protection of our magnetic field. That can do damage to them. So that's important to pay attention to. This is what we're talking about. So if this bow shock gets back here and it allows all those charged particles, increases drag, sometimes there's surface charging, which can really jack up the navigations on these things. They have to make corrections from the ground once it, to keep it in orbit. That's why. And I know we all know about the G-1 storm that took out like 40 of the SpaceX satellites and then took out some more from a different company like a week later during the same conditions. So, we know that this affects everything, guys. So that's what I would say. Let me push play here. Anything else? Okay. That's like an hour from today. This is UTC time, guys, so that's 1:33 in the morning UTC. Where I'm at, that would be 4 hours behind that. So, but yeah, so you can see this. This is just a really simplistic way to show it. It really truly is, and I don't even know what else to say about how simple this is. I love it that way because I hope everybody gets a better understanding just by looking at this. And I apologize for not showing it to you guys more often, because I should. This is a really, really good one to look at. It gives you all the critical data that you really need to have a basic understanding of what's going on. You know what I'm saying, guys? So I hope that helps somebody that didn't understand. Okay, so this is the geoelectric field model, guys. Looks like we're back up in the G1 storm. Let's go look. Sure are. See that? Remember I showed you guys this at the top of the show? We're right back up in the geomagnetic storm level. So we are definitely in some sort of an impact here. It's definitely from that coronal hole. Now I'm not ruling out the fact that we might have had a small CME also. Sometimes that happens, especially if it's not very big. We've had some satellites that were down and stuff, so it was kind of hard to kind of track all this stuff a little bit. But it just, yeah, I mean, we're back in the storm level, which isn't a big deal, guys, okay? It's not a huge deal. The only time this is going to be a big deal is if you pop on here and this is G4 or G5. That's when you really have to look. You got to figure out what the heck is going on and what could that mean, you know? But, so let's go back here to where I had you guys. This is the geoelectric field model. Now remember, this is the one that they made specifically to try to help space weather and how it affects forecasting earthquakes. Check out Ron over at Emergency Management Associates if you guys haven't done that. Please do. He's an awesome dude and he does a good job over there on the earthquakes. Please go check him out. But let me push play here. And this is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. Any unnatural electrical components, this is what this is trying to represent. Now, it ain't often that I've been able to show you this graph, and let me stop it right there. And you've seen the reds. Now, it's not like completely out of the ordinary or anything. I've shown it to you guys where we've seen the purples and the whites before, but it's been a while. So this is definitely a harder hit, okay? This isn't something that's... And you're probably asking yourself, well, why is it only in certain areas? And all those questions I've talked about here before. And the reason why is because that's a higher populated area. So there's more artificial electrical components in these areas. And it has to do with where the energy is actually coming in at. But on an overall, like if all the conditions were the same throughout the United States here, it would still be different around the bigger cities. So they're working on this three-dimensional one. That's why this is kind of blank. This one has been completed, but this is still, they're still beta testing this one over here. They're working on it, and it should be a really good tool. And this one here is really, really cool. They've got this one finished anyway, but it just can't be as specific as a three-dimensional one can. So that's why. All right, now Aurora. Now I know people are like, "Oh, Aurora, awesome!" And yeah, that's what I say too. But this may not have moved a whole lot yet, so we're going to take a look at it. Now look where it was at. I'm going to pause the one on the South Pole here. But do you see that just before this hit, and I've seen this a lot, we'll get our geomagnetism down to like below really where it should be, and then all of a sudden we'll get hit. A lot of times when that happens, it'll shock our system a little bit, and our system starts to react, and it will cause the tilt to change, all that stuff. And I do think that when you're low and then you get hit, it can put you up higher than what you would have been if you were ready for it, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll take this. You see what's going on there? Little uptick there, kind of jumping back and forth, and this is exactly what we would expect to see. And I would look here in the next hour or so, this will be changing. Okay, you're going to see this really probably light up pretty good. This is set. Now notice, I want to point out, on the South Pole, it's more intense. Why is that? Well, again, that points to the directional tilt of our magnetic field. Okay? So, you know, our planet's tilted anyway. So when we're tilted in that way, then you get another tilt, it just exposes whatever pole. Depending on what time of year, all that stuff matters. Okay? So as we move here, you can see that. Now, anybody from down under that's here, you know, these are southern lights. Australia borealis is what they call them. They sometimes get up into Australia, New Zealand, all that stuff. Okay? Just like they get down here. I've seen them. I haven't actually seen them with my own eyes, but I've seen reports of stuff here where I live, you know, in the middle, you know, mid latitudes here in Indiana. Bigger hits like the Carrington event, you see them planet wide. And what you see, guys, is that particle hits an oxygen, nitrogen molecule, it excites it. Okay? That ain't what you see. What you see is that molecule actually going back to its ambient stable condition, and it puts off that hue as it's going back to there. So when you see green aurora, typically that's an oxygen molecule that's being affected. Red ones, nitrogen, and obviously the spectrum will change, right? So that's what I would say to that. Now, again, earthquake. So let me show you guys this sun diver. I think this is like cool. I tell you what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's go over here to Isla real quick. So I think we can get the. There it is. Okay. This is LASCO C3. Now this is on the Soho Observatory, right? It's a satellite about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are, and it's always looking at the sun. They turn it sometimes. It had its own little mission, but one of the side missions it has was and it started catching all kinds of sun divers. I mean, like a buttload. Okay, and I don't think that they really expected it to see that much of the sun diving, but it did. So let me take you guys back here to the 5th, and let's change that to 300. Hit apply. We'll let that catch up here. I'm gonna go through here and pause these other movie tools because it'll slow it down when it's trying to load. Sorry. I wanted to hop out here real quick because I just got through doing that live over on the LiPo, guys. Please go check that out. It was pretty cool. We had a really good show tonight. Tommy did an awesome job with explaining all that. Great stuff. Good stuff. So if you know anybody that's fighting addiction, or, you know, wanting help, or if you just simply want to learn, if you're somebody that has somebody you know that's in addiction and you just don't understand how to help them, come over there. We'll try to help you out. I promise. Okay, so let me grab this. There it is. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Crap. I'm going to have to take this to the 6th. It's right there. Okay, guys? But I'm gonna back this up a little bit more so you guys can see it all. Let's go to the 6th. Alright, well, let's see what it gives us here. Sorry about that, guys. Hate to do that to you, but it's what it is. Can't do nothing about it. Okay, there it is. Okay, now I'm gonna zoom in. Now this one's actually pretty impressive, even on this satellite view. This is a wide-angle view from this satellite. The LASCO C2, which is, let me show you what that looks like. It's the one over here on Seeds. This is LASCO C2. See how much zoomed in it is? So given that to that, right? So the view is a little bit wide, is what I'm trying to say. So it allows us to see more of the view, but it isn't as again, it isn't zoomed in as much, so you don't get the overall, you know, intensity of what some things can be. But let me grab this again and let's check this out. So I backed it up here. Okay, so now I'm going forward, and when I see it, I'll show it to you guys. And what you're going to notice once we see it, because it's coming in right here, I'm going to back it up. And you even see kind of a curve from its tail. And sometimes when we catch these things, and by the way guys, there's a skunk running around my neighborhood, and that sucker's going to die before too long. This is about to make me sick. Man, it's stinking in my house right now. God, I hate that crap. Gives me a headache. Anyway, either that or my son just farted or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But no, there is a skunk outside somewhere. Anyway, yeah, here's the Comet. So check this out. And you're going to see it once it gets closer. It starts speeding up. The sun sucked this thing right in. Look at this. Wham! Okay? I just think that's cool as crap, man. I ain't going to tell you, well, guys, it looks like a little sperm. That's what it looks like. But, I mean, or a tadpole, whatever you want to call it. That's definitely what it looks like. But that's a sun diver, guys. Okay? And I don't think this was not a grazer. This thing got ate up. And it might not have made it all the way to the sun. The sun probably destroyed this thing before it got to the surface. Remember, the surface of the sun is right here. Okay, and I know you guys are seeing that other eruption over there. That's not going to affect Earth at all. So you know that. But, yeah, so check that out. I just thought that was cool. Let's back that up a little bit. And we'll grab it right here. You guys still see it? I mean, it really caught this one really well. I was pretty impressed with this particular sun diver. I'm waiting for it to show up on LASCO C2. It may not though, and let me tell you why. It may have burned up before it got there. Because again, remember I said this is a zoomed in view. So let's play this thing and see what it does. Well, let's go to the next day. Anything? I'm not seeing anything, so let's go to the 7th. Is it going to show up or not? Doesn't look well. Oh, did you see that? Huh. I think it did, but I think it's missing some time. That's crazy. Let's start that thing again. I'll show you what I mean. Yep. Do you see that? Let me watch this. Check this out. You see that streak? See it? That's the sun diver. It just happened right at the turn of the day, and then it jumped time. Oh no, it didn't. Wow, it burnt that sucker up that quick. Told you, that thing didn't make it to the surface. I don't think so. I think the sun probably ate that thing for breakfast, man. Look at that thing. But yeah, so there it is. That's it. I just thought that was cool. Now, what I can do here is I will show you guys stereo A, because believe it or not, this is I seen it on stereo A first, and that usually doesn't happen. We usually see it on LASCO C2 Soho way before we see it here. And I'm not seeing it here on this day, so let's go to the next day. There it is. See it? Right there. Now this eruption, I was going to show you guys this one, but it's off the backside. This isn't coming at us, and that was a sizable one, by the way. See it right there? See how pronounced that is? It's a pretty good capture there. The satellite did a good job too. So you can see the direction of where the orientation of it. So it was coming in kind of from our south, like below us, below our planet. It wasn't nowhere near our planet, but as far as the sun goes here, it definitely was coming in at that angle. So, yeah, I just thought that was cool. I believe spaceweather.com actually reported on this one too. But you can see, guys, I mean, it's cool when 2 different satellites catch it. That doesn't always happen. So let's go to the next day and see if it shows us anything on the next day. It probably won't, because it's probably too far. Yeah, it's not going to show us anything there. That's today. So activity on the sun today is little of nothing, just so you know. I haven't seen anything happen on the sun today. So, but again, what that purports to is, you know, in the next 2 or 3 days, we probably won't have much space weather. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. All right, let me pop this up here. What we got in here? Who we got in here? Who we got in here? Well, you know what? Let me take over to spaceweather.com first real quick. I showed you guys this in my last upload, or my last live stream. They're reporting on that now. That definitely was a big filament release, guys, and it did not come our way. Let's see here. Well, yep, see, this Dr. Phillips is on top of this, man. He runs this website. Go give him some love. Please. Please go give him some love. It's definitely worth doing, okay? And I'm not going to go into his articles and stuff here for the same reason I say every show. The reason is because they did the work. They deserve the traffic, okay? That's the only proper way to do it, guys. You know, I could come over here and use fair use and start clipping pieces and doing transformation and doing all that, but I don't like doing that. I mean, I could do that if I wanted to, but I won't. I just don't think it's good ethics, my opinion. But as far as fair use goes, there's nothing wrong with doing what I just said, according to the fair use agreements and stuff that everybody has to deal with here. But you have to transform it. You can't just play somebody's video and walk away. You have to transform it. You have to commentate over top of it or transform it in some way. If not, if you don't do that, that's copyright, guys. I mean, they can really hit you hard for that. Now, I don't monetize, so I don't really have to worry about the monetization part of it. So, but that adds in a whole nother ball of wax. But I get asked a lot, why don't you just show their videos? That's why. Because I respect them. You know, that's really what it boils down to. They deserve it. They did the work. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys that. Now, I do come over here, and this is where I get my sunspot number count. And you can see we've had 1% of the days without any sunspots facing Earth. So basically 0. Okay, yeah, well, see guys, see there, he's talking about this here too. He actually called it a doomed comet. Go over and read this article. Do me a favor, go over and read that article, please. You know, give him some love. And also, guys, you know, when geomagnetism gets low, like back here, if you start seeing this X-ray flux start to drop down, if you start seeing geomagnetic activity kind of hanging around 1 or 0 for an extended period of time, we have to start considering cosmic rays. We need some geomagnetism from the sun to keep us healthy. All right. So if our atmosphere and our magnetic field isn't healthy enough, it cannot fight off the cosmic rays. So those get in, and those are neutrinos and all kinds of other. They split off. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of any of that, but it's basically radiation. That's what it amounts to. Now, I have to say this: our skin does a really good job of protecting us on that stuff, on that front, but you don't want to get blasted with over and over and over again, because these kinds of particles and stuff, they will pass right through our planet. So when they make it in, they're going to go right through you, is what I'm trying to say. So that it's not good in extended periods of time. To the extent that when that's all going on, they won't let pilots fly at higher latitudes extended periods of time, or anybody working on the airlines because of that. It's like getting an X-ray, guys. It really truly is. And you know, there's a reason why they don't like to do X-rays on kids. You know, especially when they're in their developmental stages, because especially reproductive organs and stuff like that are highly affected by that. And so they won't do x-rays and stuff on kids unless they really, really need to. CAT scans, MRIs, all that stuff. So, anyway, earthquake report, I guess, if you want to call it that. Here's your earthquakes. I'm just going to show it to you. You got 5.8 over here in Russia. That was probably the biggest one here, off the coast. And again, guys, I'm not hearing a whole lot of rumbling going on the earthquake front. I know we had a volcano up here, one of the biggest ones, erupting right now. But again, go check out Ron over at Emergency Management Associates. Hey, Axe. Hey, Anna. What's up? Kathy, Daryl. Speak Life Garden, Homestead, and Permaculture. Man, it's a mouthful. I like it, though. Sunburn, very, very easy, but this year, even in the sun, quite a while, my face hurt, but no burn at all. Nothing? Huh. That's interesting, I have to say. Do you have, like, superpowers? I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's cool, though. That is interesting. Hey, Kinley. Hey, Jim. Alright, let me, So, yeah, guys, that is the space weather report. Hey, Arizona. What's up? You real late? Yeah, for sure. Hey, Aaron. Who else is still here? I didn't even look. Let's see here. What we got in here right now? Okay, cool. Cool. John in the spirit. Good to see you, brother. Hey, Miss V. Hey, Tommy. What's happening? What's going on, brother? Good to see you in here. Nita's in here, Anna said. Trish. What's up, Trish? Flamin', love you, brother. Donna, Daryl, Linda, Beckonator, Joe. So, yeah. Guys, I think that works better for what I do. I went ahead and did the space weather report, and then, I can talk to you guys like this now without people getting too upset about it. And I get it, right? I mean, people click on my channel for the space weather, at least for the beginning part of it, right? I get it. I understand. So don't think you guys have ever offended me by saying, hey, man, you're talking and giving too many shout-outs. I know. I know I do. Miss V, JJ, hey, Daryl. Heidi. I think I said hi to Daryl and Miss V earlier, but I can't remember. Heidi, what's happening? Okay, you can post it if you want. Okay. Trisha. Living the dream. Thank you, Agnes. Okay, we need one more, guys. Come on, guys. One of you guys go over on the lifeboat, please. I don't even want one of you. I want all of you guys to go over there. We're trying to break that number. You know what would be cool? If we could get that to 2,600 by tomorrow before we go live. I think we need to do that. Maybe that should be the goal. We'll just crack over that 25 and keep moving. How about that? So somebody do me a favor. Everybody do me a favor. Matter of fact, we're going to do this real quick. I haven't done this in a while. Let's do this real quick. Let's do it like this. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys, and we'll get you what you need here. But yeah, that diving Comet was cool. I don't know what you guys thought about that, but hopefully you guys liked it. Not sure if you did. Hope you did. I didn't have the chat up, so yeah. And thanks to everybody else that's been coming on over from other channels. Anybody here from Paul Begley's channel, thank you for coming over. Guys, go check everybody out. You guys know I say that, and that's what I truly believe. Check everybody out. Hey, man, looks like we broke that number, dude. That's what it says. But we're gonna pretend we didn't. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this video right here, guys, and I'm just gonna hit the share button. We'll copy this link real quick. All right, and we're gonna throw this link right here. It's in my description box every video, by the way. So there's the link. Please, guys, go over and give us some love. We're really trying to help people over there with addiction and getting people into some really good stuff. And there's no judgment over there ever. So I really hope that you do. Wow, Tommy, did you see that? 388 already. Wow, that's a big number from right after we just did a live stream. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Jesus. Appreciate you. Thank you. Back at you, Tommy. Back at you. Hey, Raven. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Christian faith. Let's see here. Let's see. The moon looks strange from where you are. Like there's a rounded black object covering the bottom part. Yeah, you know, I don't really have much to say on that end of it. Hey, Ripper. Guys, go check out Rip's channel, too. He doesn't like to drop his own link. That's how humble the guy is. So go give him some love, too. That's one, in my opinion, if I had to pick the best prepper guy out there, the best person, in my opinion, altogether, when it comes to all that prepping stuff, is Rip. You guys need to go over there. Rip Curl Readiness, and he's got Rip Curl Readiness at the range. I encourage all of it. So, yeah, Steve Olson, guys. I mentioned him last video. He definitely, I was on, that's real, when I first started my channel, he had me on his show. And I thank him for that. And you know, I apologized yesterday because I just hadn't mentioned him for a long time. I like to give credit where credit's due, and you know, him and then Scott brought me along a really far way. Scott over at Planet X News, and I'm sure he'll be making videos before too long, guys. I think he'll go back to making some videos here in a while, but he's taking care of some real life issues. Okay, I know people ask me all the time how he's doing, and I can assure you that, you know, he's working on stuff. Okay, he's you know, he always needs the prayers. Okay, Dr. Albers did make it down to Florida and had the bone marrow thing for her poison, the mercury poisoning from her fillings she had in her teeth. Back in the day, that's what they used to do. Oh, Mark Pires is live too, guys. Go check out my boy Mark over there. Please do. I mean, God dang it. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. I could sit on here all day long and just start shouting out channels, everyone I could that I love and I love and I love, and but that's all I would be able to do. And I get it, right? So that's why I'm doing this at the end of the show. But I am going to go ahead and probably cut this because I don't like to go over an hour, because if I do, then it freaking kills it. The people just don't like to watch things that long. And, you know, I get that too. So, yep, Pires is live right now. I go, hey, Axe, what's up, brother? Man, you need to put your link in there too. See, guys, you guys want some good music and stuff? They do some pretty funny shorts up there too. Axe and Nacho do a good job up there. They're in Canada, in case you guys were wondering. Hey, Pamela, good to see you. From your volcano to from your volcano to ours. That's awesome. Blue Dazzle, what's up? Deep Quake Paul. Well, thanks, Deep. Appreciate you. Sounds like that's a name for a channel. I'm not sure if you have a channel. If you do, guys, go over and check him out. Hey, Nita. Thanks, Nina. I appreciate you. Hey, Anna. DJ, good to see you. Raven. Aaron. Good to see you guys. Yeah. So, I am going to go ahead and end it, guys. If anything else happens, I promise you, I will. Hey, John. Oh, yeah, Matthew Shipley. Guys, you guys got to really go check his channel out. He runs a 24-hour live stream of nothing but space weather conditions. And he does it in 4K. It looks really awesome. He's in my, I'm not sure if he's just in my subscription list or if he's in my description list. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But, you know, check him out. So, all right, guys. God bless. Here, I'll tell you what. We're going to leave on this screen right about... Let's just leave here on the Sun Diver. How about that? I love all you guys. I'll see you guys in the next update. Or if you guys want to come check me out on the lifeboat tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, we will be there. All right, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah, 100%. I hope you guys can still drink this Kool-Aid.